The morning sun rose over the small village of Willowbrook in a slow, golden wave, touching each cobblestone, glinting off each cottage window, and filling the cool air with a gentle warmth. From the hills beyond, the first chirps of sparrows mingled with the distant hum of bees in the fields. It should have been the perfect morning in a peaceful place, but in the center of Willowbrook lay a patch of land that had been abandoned for as long as most could remember. The Forgotten Garden, they called it. It was hidden behind a moss-covered wall with an old iron gate that groaned on rusty hinges whenever the wind blew too hard. Once, decades ago, it had been the pride of the village, roses as red as sunset, tulips in every shade of the rainbow, tall sunflowers that seemed to smile at the sky, and a fountain in the center that sparkled like crystal in the sunlight. Children had played under flowering cherry trees, lovers had walked hand in hand along winding paths, and old friends had shared benches, swapping stories while the fragrance of lilacs filled the air. But those days had faded. Neglect crept in like a shadow. The fountain cracked and dried. Weeds spread over the paths until they swallowed the flowers entirely. The benches rotted, the trees grew wild, and the once beautiful place became a tangle of thorns. Most people didn't even glance at it anymore, save to mutter about how nothing good could grow there again. Only one person in the whole village still believed the garden could live again, Grandma Elsie. She was a small, wiry woman with hair like spun silver and eyes that carried a lifetime of kindness. Sitting in her rocking chair near the village fountain, she told stories about the garden to anyone who would listen. Her voice would drop to a gentle whisper as she repeated the legend: the garden would only bloom again when someone planted seeds with a heart full of kindness, expecting nothing in return. She claimed it had magic, not the noisy, showy magic of Fa. But kindness, like a garden, is not something that grows once and is done. It must be tended, protected, and renewed, or it will wither as quickly as it bloomed. For months, the Garden of Kindness stood in full splendor, a tapestry of colors and scents that filled Willowbrook with joy. People had begun to weave the garden into their daily lives, sharing breakfast under its flowering arches, holding small celebrations among the blooms, or simply sitting in quiet reflection beside the sparkling fountain, which now flowed again as if awakened by the villagers' warmth. Oliver felt as though his father's spirit walked among the flowers every day. Yet, as autumn leaves began to fall, a different wind came to Willowbrook. One morning, a tall figure in a long black coat arrived at the village square, his polished boots clicking sharply on the cobblestones. His name was Mr. Havers, a merchant from the city, with eyes like dark coins and a smile that never quite reached them. He had heard whispers of a miraculous garden in a quiet countryside village and had come to see it for himself. When he stepped through the garden's gate, he stopped, and a calculating gleam lit his face. He walked the paths slowly, inspecting every glowing petal and inhaling the sweet air like a man testing the quality of fine wine. "Extraordinary," he said at last, turning to the gathered villagers. "These flowers would fetch a fortune in the city. I could sell them to noblemen and scholars, to artists and kings. Think of the money. With what I'm offering for this land, every one of you could live more comfortably than you ever have." His words landed like seeds in the wind, tempting, golden, and dangerous. Some villagers immediately shook their heads, unwilling to imagine losing the garden. But others hesitated. New roofs for leaky houses, warm coats for children before winter, cupboards filled with food instead of worry, all this and more flashed through their minds. "It's just flowers," one man said.